Coinbase is announcing that they are going to be launching something like a cryptocurrency app store where different DeFi projects and third-party developers will be able to build projects on top of this. Something similar to the iStore. I'm not an Apple guy. What's it called? The App Store. Thank you very much. Google Play, etc. Coinbase is also talking about how they want to move from just kind of regional work that they're doing right now. They're not working completely globally. They want to become a global company that services people all around the world. This is an interesting story because it shows us and highlights to us just how much institutional development is still going on behind the scenes, even when the price action might not be reflecting it. So, Tim, I want to hear your opinion. Where do you think Coinbase fits in the narrative of the growth of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? What part do you think it plays in the future of crypto?
Well, I mean, being the largest exchange, you obviously have to then, give it the automatic. It has a massive role in crypto in the future of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, all the big coins. However, I don't know. This is something that is for sure outside of my knowledge of knowing exactly what's going to happen with Coinbase. But I do know, like I said, from what I have seen, consistently when Coinbase has something big happen, we see some boost in the market. That news from Japan, I think one of the things that we talked about on the stream, but we have not talked about a lot necessarily, and is one of the things, I'm not saying it's the only thing, it's one of the things that are moving our price action back up as we push back towards 40,000, is the Japan news that Coinbase will now be going into Japan. So, do I know the full details? I know the full extent of how much Coinbase is going to flex the price? No, I do not. But I do know that being the largest exchange, anytime Coinbase makes a move, that's not something we can just ignore and not take into consideration. Yeah, no, guys, remember when we saw the IPO on Coinbase, that was the day that we hit all-time high on Bitcoin back in, I think it was March, in $65,000. Coinbase is a big deal, and it's not something that you want to ignore when they're making moves. Our final article here comes out of a senator named Cynthia Loomis, and she's talking about backing United States retirement plans with Bitcoin and encouraging people to start investing in Bitcoin in their retirement plans. This is really interesting because it comes from a senator on Capitol Hill who represents the people and the United States government at once, and this is a big adoption story. It's another one of these events where a major power player is talking bullish things about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now, of course, we've talked on this show many times about how we don't want to hero worship, but it is very interesting when we see very powerful people that have a lot of experience and a lot of connections standing behind Bitcoin. It goes back to that old saying, first they laugh at you, then they try to stop you, then they join you, right? That's what we're seeing happen right now, is now entire countries are starting to join us. Tim, do you have any thoughts on this? No, other than the fact that, again, we continue to see it's kind of goes back and forth. We see something come out that says the government is, kind of against crypto, and then we see something come out that they're pro. We are in a massive movement right now of undecision, and actually, in reality,
undecision.
Undecision. What's the
indecision?
Indecision. Okay, that's one letter off. We're in a process of indecision, which I think indecision is actually good for crypto long term. I think that indecision means that, hey, we still have to educate ourselves and we're learning. That's what is really cool about what's happening in the U.S. government is a lot of people were afraid that the U.S. government was going to come out and ban or create crazy restrictions. What they actually did, they came out pretty much saying, hey, we don't know what we're talking about, so we're going to go do our homework and we'll come back to you when we know what we're talking about. Yeah. And we see a massive amount of there's a whole section of the U.S. government now, even in Mexico. I know that news came out that Mexico is now not going to allow that bank to have Bitcoin services, but there's a massive movement in Mexico's government, and I think governments all over the world that are pro crypto. And so this indecision happening right now in governments, I think, is actually good for the long term, because what it is it's saying, hey, we don't know what we're talking about, let's go learn. Yeah, well, it goes back to that idea of any controversy is good controversy, any publicity is good publicity, whether they're bashing it or attacking it or supporting it or legislating it or regulating it. We are seeing a ton of conversation going on in the cryptocurrency space. And the reason I say this is because I don't want people getting freaked out just because the price is being a little bit boring.